So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dale here from Z4 Games, bringing you, as you can see before you, an updated Salamangreat deck profile. Now, Salamangreats, believe it or not, is actually one of the decks, because it didn't get hit as hard after the ban list, that is still very, very playable and very, very competitive. Some people were starting to adapt prior to the new list coming out, and now we've got the brand new Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix, which in my opinion isn't the most busted card, but it's still very, very good in the deck. So before we get through to the profile, please like, comment, subscribe and share the channel. We are moving towards our 15,000 subscriber mark. We want to try and get our average viewership up as well. And if we get 100 likes, I will get a test hand video done for you, or at least a combo guide with this deck for you guys as well. But without further ado, let's get into the profile. So we start off with, of course, 3 Salamangreat Foxy with Gazelle now at 1. Foxy is probably one of your more important starters. Getting the mill to get you an additional kind of summon or a search off of a Salamangreat card is very, very important. Not to mention its revival effect from the graveyard as well, but you can only use 1 effect per turn. We've got triple Flame Buffalo. This, of course, gives you that draw as well if it's linked off, and it's an additional kind of extension for the deck that can kind of play around with it, especially, like I said, with Gazelle at 1. We then play triple Salamangreat Spinny. Obviously, you want this in the graveyard. You want to be able to bring it back. This gets you into your Mirage Stalio plays, which again lets you extend your board, which goes up and allows you to link climb. We then play double Jaguar, again coming back from the graveyard, being able to summon it off of your Mirage Stalio. And then, of course, we've got the 1 Gazelle. It is at 1. It is the most important card in the deck, which is why it is at 1. And this just allows you to Foolish Burial any of your cards that you need, or any of your Salamangreat cards, and then if you make the right plays, you'll be able to add them back to the hand anyway. So it's basically an additional searcher. We then play the 1 Foul for an additional summon, the 1 Falco for an extension, and the 1 Lady Debug. Again, Lady Debug is at 1. It's not as good as a starter because it doesn't count as a fire to trigger off your Gazelle, but it does search you out your Gazelle to get you started. For the non-Salamangreats, we play triple Fantastical Dragon Phantasme and triple Ash Boss, and they are all kind of self-explanatory themselves. We're then playing triple Call by the Grave because nobody likes to get hand trapped these days, so being able to, you know, I just like the look on the face where your opponent's going, right, okay, he's going to do something, he's going to do something, he's going to do something, Ash, and then you just go, Call by the Grave. Like, that's their play to stop you going off, and if you Call by the Grave them, you just get to go off. Which is why this actually did get hit on the ban list at once, and then it's come back to free because it's a necessary evil. Then we've got triple Silent Mining. Of course, we all know why this is so expensive. It's so generic for your Cyverse cards. Search it out, everything. You can. The reason it's in pink sleeves is it is currently in my Marincess deck as my main deck over the Salamangreat deck. So kind of want to go with it that way. I wish I had more copies, but then I'd be foolish to hold on to more than one playset of this card. 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary, 1 Will of Salamangreat, 1 Salamangreat Circle, which I think was one of the harsher hits on the ban list, but I assume that what Konami did is they saw how the OCG was still playing Salamangreats fairly decently with 1 Gazelle, and just thought in order to make them take another step back, they had to hit Circle. We then got the 1 Fusion of Fire. I still think this is a nice power play card that gets you game. And then we've got the one of the brand new card, which I really, really like, is Salamangreat Transcendence. What's really, really cool about this card is that you target 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control, special summon 1 Salamangreat Link monster with the same name from your extra deck using that monster you control as the entire material. So it is basically a quick play reincarnation, which is why it makes this card so good, because if you make this card during your turn, but don't reincarnate it and set this, now a switched on player will realise that you're probably sitting on a Transcendence, so they don't want to fill the board up. But you've got a 2800 beta that you'll have a bit of back row protection for, and then if your opponent has to go, okay, set pass, you quick play this, turn the Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix and reincarnate it, and then Pyro Phoenix will then nuke your opponent's board. So that's really, really cool that it just kind of wipes their board, and then you've pretty much got game next turn. For the traps, we've got triple Infinite Impermanence. Again, very, very powerful card. the reason we're playing this is because there are still some Lunar Light Orcus plays out there that can go into Azathoth. Also, of course, this can't get called by the grave, so it's a very, very powerful negation. Not to mention that if you set it in the right column, you can actually turn off one of your opponent's back rows. So that's very, very powerful and useful for this card. Then we've got double Salamangreat Rage and single Roar. And then just to finish it up on footy cards, I've got 2 Solemn Judgments. Now these can be anything. These can be strikes, warnings, whatever you want them to be. And kind of go from there. There's just additional negation, additional back row kind of disruption. And Judgment, in my opinion, will always be live because it's half life points, not a set amount of life points as well. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, all of it is pretty much self-explanatory and what you would expect to see. So we'll start with the link forwards. We've got Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix. This is the brand new card that came out in Chaos Impact. It requires 2+ fire effect monsters. It is a link 4. If this card is linked, someone using Pyro Phoenix as material, you destroy all cards your opponent controls. Only use each of the following effects once per turn. You can target 1 link monster in your opponent's graveyard to special summon it to your opponent's field. And then if a link monster or monsters is special summoned to your opponent's field except during a damage step, target 1 of those monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So you nuke the board. Let's say you're in time or something like that. You can make Pyro Phoenix into your main phase, reincarnate it. It will take a lot to be able to reincarnate it without the quick play. But then you get to revive one of their link monsters if you battle it or get it to the graveyard somehow and then burn them. And it is basically just a time-winning card. We've then got double Salamangreat Heat Leo. I prefer this artwork. I would have really, really liked this artwork to be the prismatic. But this one, of course, came in the structure deck, whereas the other one actually came in the original set. But we all know what Heat Leo does by now. Triple Salamangreat Wolfie, or Wolf. Of course, this is the most important extra deck card that Salamangreats have. Being able to kind of reincarnate and then recycle cards, and when stuff is special summoned to it, you add back ashes. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Its double effect is insane, which is why it is the most important card in the extra deck for them. Triple Balinks gets everything started, gives you graveyard protection as well, so it can protect your monsters on the field by battle, and then of course searches you out your sanctuary to help you reincarnate as many times as you like. Double Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. Obviously, we all know what this does as well. Extends, brings out from the board, brings out from your deck, and then also has that nice little ability to spin a back row. The one Salamangreat Violet Chimera, just because this is your game winner, and then 2 cards that aren't Salamangreats is the one Phoenix, purely because it's fire, deals with any back rows or floodgates you might have, and then one tech that I picked up from Joe. So this is Joe's list. He's kind of given me this list and I've added a few things to it and adapted it as we've gone. But one card that I kept in that I thought was really, really cool was Transco Talker. Now the reason he plays Transco Talker is because it requires 2 effect monsters, link free. When this card is co-linked, if this card and its co-linked monster gain 500 attack, also your opponent cannot target any of them with card effects. You can type 1 link free or lower Cyverse monster in your graveyard, Salamangreats or Cyverse, special summon, accept himself, special summon it to a zone this card points to. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Cyverse monsters. Doesn't matter. So the idea is you bring back Salamangreat Wolf, and then you can link him off or reincarnate him into another version, and then he's now co-linked, so he gains an extra 500, can't be targeted. Then if you can build yourself up to either the Phoenix or of course the Heat Leo, again they'll be co-linked, they'll gain a bit more attack and they can't be targeted. So it gives you a little bit of a protection. It's not the standard route going into the Talker, but it's just a nice little option. I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting tech that Joe put together. So I was like, okay, I can see where he's going with this. There's space in the extra there. I'm not tied down to anything. I might as well give it a go and kind of see how it plays out. So that is it for the Salamangreat deck profile. I do have, depending on what date this video comes out, there is actually a Salamangreat versus Marincess matchup, which is very, very interesting to kind of see. I've got a couple of duels of those, so I'll put up as many of the duels that I can as possible. Like I said, I'll be at, the team will be at YCS London if this profile comes out before then. If not, congratulations to all you at YCS. I hope you all did very, very well. And I hope you enjoyed the con as well. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And until next time, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dad here with YUGIOH. thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.